Welcome to Golden Boy Insider. I'm your host, Beto Duran, where we try to go behind the scenes with the fighters as they get ready for their fight on Saturday night. It's not how do you feel, how was camp, forget all that stuff. It's stuff that we try to give them a different perspective and you, the fan, a little insight into who they are. Today's guest from Philadelphia, Puerto Rican King, Gabe Rosado, man. Gabe, I feel like I see you all the time now.
Yeah.
You become my broadcast partner. Now I'm interviewing you, all kinds of other stuff. All right, let me get the question out of the way. How was this camp? Don't answer that, man. Don't answer that.
No, man. You know, I'll tell you what. The camp was interesting as far as it was like, I think it was a 5-week camp. You know what I mean? But I still active in PR. And it was just, it was a different pace. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Being there was 5 weeks. But, man, once we shift that gear, like on you know what I mean, week 3, it was like we were on go. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was a good camp. It was a fun camp. Strong.
What's the other dumb question? How's your weight?
Yeah, man. Hey, way better than last time, bro. So you know, last time I had to make middleweight.
Oh
you
yeah.
know, I'm back at super middleweight. So you know, I'm a little more jolly right now.
See, that's when you know Gabe has become a professional broadcaster because he's actually giving good answers. Like, 2 years ago, be like, man, my weight's good. Now Gabe's like, actually, yeah. So you're Tom.
Yeah, man. No, it's a lot better, man. Having to go through dealing with the weight thing right now makes me realize like how tough it was in the last camp. You know what I'm saying? Making 160. You know, I did it. You know, we did our job and we did what we had to do, but it was like, shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, Gabe has now become a broadcaster. We did fights in Mexico. I've seen you do fights in England, and we'll be working together if all goes well. April 21st on Golden Boys News Series. It's a lot of people always say, man, I could be an announcer. I can do this or I can do that. And then you sit there and you're like, damn, we're going to do 3 hours of talking? It's not that easy, right?
Yeah, you definitely have to stay sharp, man, and catch yourself. But the cool thing about it is I love boxing. And it comes across. It's funny, man. You know, you can kind of like be in your head about like, you know, coming off a certain type of way, but then once it's rolling and you're just talking boxing, it's like it just flows.
Yeah, but I always tell people when they're like, "Oh man, like you suck at this," and I'm like, "Hey man, you can announce at home. It's really easy to announce at home."
See, your job is harder, bro, because you got to do all the announcements. But and all that
I tell people all the time, like, "Hey man, yeah, you can say he did this, he threw the uppercut. Yeah, but you're at home getting loaded. You're drinking. You have friends around you. You make one little joke every hour. You got to talk for the entire fight, and especially with some of those fights, you're like, "Ew, somebody throw a punch, please. Help me out here."
Yeah, for sure, man. You know, it's like you got to find something to kind of talk about. You know, sometimes the guys ain't throwing blows. It's like,
and then you don't want to be too critical of young fighters that are just starting off. Because remember back when you're 5 and 6 fights in, and you're like, still.
Well, you know, man, I was going crazy in my first couple fights. I always was like,
what do you mean?
I was throwing bombs away. You know, I wasn't that kind of fighter that was kind of feel the guy out in the first couple rounds. I was always like, you know, I was very, very aggressive.
Is there any footage of this?
Yeah,
when nobody was streaming, right?
Yeah, I got videos of my first fights. You know, my pro debut, the guy was 10 pounds overweight at the weigh-in, and the commission asked me if I was okay, and I was like, yeah, let's go. And this dude was like built, man. He was like 50 Cent from the, you know.
In shape before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, in shape 50 Cent, right? He was a big dude, but I was so anxious to fight that we spotted him to 10 pounds, and we knocked him out in like the first 50 seconds.
You just came swinging bombs away?
Yeah, I was just throwing bombs away.
Where was that fight at?
That was in Philly. Like, my first couple fights were in Philly.
But where? It wasn't in the Spectrum.
It was like the National Guard in Philly, but that was my approach. I always was just kind of like brawling. And, you know, because, you know, I started late. So
you didn't have an amateur career.
Yeah, as I went, I learned how to, you know, box. And how to
get 3 minutes?
Yeah, exactly. But I was trying to take you out off the, you know, as soon as the bell rang.
Do you remember when you would start off and where you're at right now, you fought at some of the biggest venues around the world. It's awesome. Yeah. But fighters always talk about those first fights, wherever it may be, and that they can always remember where it was at against who. This and that. Like you're going back. You have flashbacks.
I remember a lot of my first fights because it's crazy. Because like, you know, the legendary Blue Horizon. I don't know if you ever heard of it. I've
heard of it.
It's like, man, this is like boxing
in Philadelphia. That's the spot.
Yeah, but all the greats fought there, right? And I think they was built in the 1800s, the late 1800s, right? And it's gutter, bro. Is gutter, bro.
Like, and, you step on the ground, you feel the beer.
Yeah, like the ring. So the ring obviously is centered, and then the balcony is right over the ring. Yeah. So like you could, like, the fans are going nuts, man, and it's crazy. So I fought at the Blue Horizon.
I heard
and that was pretty dope.
Bernard Hopkins told me if you could survive the Blue Horizon, you can survive anywhere.
I fought a fight in the club in Philly, and like, you know, you're literally fighting, and people are like smoking and shit, blowing a Newport pack in your face. They're like, you throw a punch and you're choking on some smoke.
And I
swear, that's some gutter shit. That's gutter,
that's
bro.
That's what they say. You fight your way out, right? Yeah, you know, everybody, like, okay, right now all the kids want to put their inspirational pose out of the mud. Like, no, you were literally
out. Like, I was really fighting in spots like that, bro. It was crazy. So
were there some of the spots where you're like, am I gonna get paid today?
Yeah. That happened one time. That did happen one time. Well, I don't know the promoter. I guess I didn't sell as many as he wanted, and he was about to stiff me with some bread, and like, you know, my mom turned up on him. At the time. I think I was like 20 years old. Yeah. My mom ain't played. We ain't leave the venue without that bread.
Where were you at? Wait, the fight already happened?
I was just letting mom do her thing.
So the fight was over?
Our fight was over. I won. The arena was, everybody left. Everybody went home. Mom was going at it with the promoter.
Wait, you're supposed to have a check waiting for you.
Hey, man, when you fighting coming up, like how I came up, it was different.
What happened to your mom? Did she get the money?
I got the bread. It was like $1,500.
It don't matter.
Crazy, but
you needed it. You need to keep the lights on.
But I'm just saying, this fight was like a 8-round fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How was that ride home? Like, what did your mom say? I told him.
Yeah, but you know that was my mom, man. She fought with him and she got my money. So, but that's funny, man. That's like the beginning of my pro career, man. Like, you know, fighting in those grimy spots, you know, and you know, just working your way.
And that's the thing about, I respect you, Gabe. Like I said, I met you fought Jalen Love. That was the first time I ever saw you in the press conference area. And I remember you fought early, and I'm watching that fight. And I'm like, who is this dude just coming in and like not respecting anything, not respecting in a good way. As in like making a name for yourself. I'm like, dude, I'm going to rock with this guy. This guy's cool. Just watching from a distance, getting to know you. Yeah. And then once I did a little research on you, I'm like, oh, nothing was handed to this guy. Like no amateur career, fighting in those kind of spots. Yeah. And now it seems like you're kind of teaching these younger kids that wild card. I've asked some of the younger fighters that go there, and they're like, no, Gabe's always spitting knowledge and giving game to it. Like, it's important to you, isn't it?
Yeah, because I kind of feel like how, like, you know, when I was coming up and I was 18, I was around Bernard a lot. So Bernard always schooled me, and Bernard always gave me a lot of advice. And I think he saw something special in me. So, like, you know, whenever I see a fighter that I really see potential and I see, like, he got something, you know, I do like to share some knowledge and put him deep. You know, like I saw Xavier, great talent coming up, 19-year-old kid. Yeah, he's a great talent, man. And, you know, I was speaking to him, and, you know, he got a good head on his shoulder, man, and I think he has a great future. So I like seeing young talent, man. You know, I definitely want to share, you know, my experience with them.
That's what's up, man. That's what matters right there. You'll see him live Saturday on DAZN from the Alamodome in San Antonio. GABRIEL Rosado taking on Shane Mosley. Man, I appreciate you. We can do this over and over and over, but on YouTube, people are like, hey, man, I got to click a new video, right? So rate, review, subscribe, and keep on doing this. Sure. And April 21st, all goes well, you'll see Gabe on the broadcast along myself in Indio, California, and that'll be on DAZN. Man, you're doing it all, man.
Thanks,
Real estate, Puerto Rico, doing everything. Gym, Badlands Gym, right?
Yeah. I got 2 daughters.
You got 2?
Yeah, I got 2 daughters.
That's the most important thing. No kidding.
Yeah.
All right, for Gabriel Rosado, I'm Beto Duran, another edition of Golden Boy Insider. Thank you for watching.